people on the ship as well. And Andre explained to me that like not all the reservations open immediately. Maybe about a third of them open up. So you still have plenty of chances to book those reservations at the restaurants that you want to try. And it's not, you have a good chance of getting into the ones that you want to try, which is encouraging. And I think my clients had a great time. They gave me nothing but great feedback. They actually did the same itinerary that we're gonna do,
Yep.
which is Bimini, Bahamas, and also Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. So they loved it. They had a great time. I think they loved the fact that there were so many restaurant options. Just a clean, nice ship. I was originally going to book them on a Carnival ship. The one that I did, Sunrise, for my first time, I was going to book them on that. But after that, there was like a fight that broke out recently, I think. So I'm like, yeah, I don't want to send them on that. It might be a little too crazy for them. Let me put them on something more, quiet, a
Adult.
little more adult. Yeah, a little more, no kids running around, stuff like that. So they had a great time. They loved it. And yeah, I'm excited to try it too.
Yeah. So, Andre, to start, I've got some questions for you. I asked on Facebook people to have ask what questions they had about Virgin, because we do have a lot of Virgins on here and also a lot of Virgin enthusiasts. But we kind of touched upon it. But you tell us in your words what makes Virgin different than other cruise lines.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the opportunity. So I've been in this business for quite some time. Was a crew member way before Virgin Voyages even existed. So I feel like I'm uniquely qualified as someone who's done hundreds of cruises over the years. And I'm someone who not necessarily would consider myself a cruiser or as my style of cruising. And like a lot of people, there's some things people love about cruising, some things that people don't love about cruising. Virgin Voyages has come along. It's the brainchild of the amazing visionary Sir Richard Branson, who's been dreaming this cruise lineup for decades. So what makes it so special is that Virgin Voyages has come out the gate with totally new thinking, being a disruptor like all of the Virgin brands and doing things differently. So the intention was to take the things that people absolutely love most about cruising and really accentuate that. And the things that people don't love so much, the nickel and diming, the bait and switch tactics, the terrible food, we have none of that. Um, our concept is your mega yacht experience. Like you're off on an amazing adventure. Your very wealthy friend has brought you along on their fabulous yacht, and they're taking care of all the essentials for you. At Virgin Voyages, we have a lot more things that are offered than typically would be included in other cruise lines. So instead of having this bait and switch package where you purchase your voyage, and now you have to pay all of these extras for other things, so much of that's included because there's over $1,000 of value that's included in that voyage fare. And I can go through that now, or if I feel like there's going to be more questions, I can.
Yeah, we'll just chat, kind of keep it cash, and we got some great questions too. But I do want to point out something about the food and cruise math because this drives me crazy.
Mm.
Because I hype up Virgin quite a bit, especially when I did my solo cruise last November. By the way, the hammock is what people lose their minds over. I so many people ask me about the red hammock, and they're like, "Where is this? What is this? How can I get one? Can I take it home?" And it's like, it's just a Virgin thing. Every balcony has it. No, you can't take it home. You can buy one though, but it has like a special fabric that's flame, retardant and stuff like that. But the thing about the food, right? So I get a lot of questions about the food. You do not do the MDR, so the main dining room is not a thing. You do not do the buffet. You've got the galley. So do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because that's a little different for folks.
Yeah, definitely. So there's going to be a lot of differences when we go through and talk about Virgin Voyages. I kind of already glazed over the huge, obvious difference, but the food is where we really shine. It's by far the best food in the cruise industry. There's a massive gap. And as Melissa's already kind of mentioned, we have no main dining concept. So instead of going to that same restaurant, eating, being paired up with random people, making the typical small talk and working from the same boring menu every day. We've eliminated that experience altogether. And so we're going to give sailors an opportunity to choose from 20 plus eateries. They're all part of the experience. We're exclusively adult. We're going to treat you like an adult. We know that you can do, you want to do what you want to do when you want to do it, which is the ultimate luxury. So instead of going to the main dining, you choose from one of 20 plus eateries. We have no specialty dining costs. There's 24-hour dining options. And as Melissa also mentioned, there's no buffet. All of the food is made to order. Michelin star inspired cuisine, really lean into that. The cocktails that go along with it are incredible as well. Obviously, there's way more than just alcoholic beverages. But we give sailors the most choices. We even have in-room dining and great technology built into our app. So if you're feeling like you want a snack or a beverage when you're out and about, you have the potential that we can deliver things right to where you are on the ship as well.
So I love that, right? So Botsy's a little OCD. I am too. I thought I was till I met him. And people on cruise ships, they do not wash their hands. It's really kind of gross. So I hate cruise ship buffets. So the way the galley works, it's really great. So just kind of explain to folks, you go in, you have like a little QR code, you raise a little flag, they come to you, you order, they bring it to your table. So there's not people like sneezing over food or not washing their hands and touching. I love that. And I am a steak girly. We always do the steakhouse specialty on every cruise. We just did Royal Caribbean, which was great, but the steakhouse, it was expensive. It was like 90 bucks a person. I love the wake on Virgin, but that's your steakhouse and it's in the back of the ship, which the app, so you see the wake. And
even that's free.
that's included
Wow.
too. And it's a full on steak, like a
Incredible.
specialty.
Yeah, our steak, seafood, and raw bar. In addition to our dinner that we do that, which is spectacular, we even have brunch options. So it's gonna be one of our two brunch options, which is definitely not known for the cruise industry. But like going back to the galley to explain that concept, it's about 10 restaurants all kind of clustered in the same area. So you have, instead of going up and having to order and be in a whole procession, feel like you're cattle or something at a typical buffet line on a cruise ship, you can just be seated. And as Melissa mentioned, put the flag up, sort of traditional, those old glamorous days of cruising, letting our team know that you're looking for service. And then you're going to have the ability to order from any of the eateries within the area, including the local bars as well. So you're going to have lots of options. And I'm also someone who's a bit OCD and total germaphobe. So buffets are a hard no for me in most cases. So it's a great alternative that you don't have people that are touching any of the food or the tongs or sneezing and all of that stuff. Very
And
convenient.
Andre, can you talk? So we talked about the wake. That's like the steak and seafood. That's my fave. Razzle Dazzle. That's really great for brunch, but there's also dinner options too. Test Kitchen is very unique. But can you
Yes.
kind of hit upon maybe like the four big ones that people hear about and what makes them unique?
Yeah, some of those options are definitely the big ones. Our crown jewel, in my opinion, is Test Kitchen that you've mentioned, which is a full experience for foodies. Definitely an experience that would be well over $100 per person off on land and way more on other cruise lines. To kind of have that sort of experience built into your voyage fare and not paying extra for it really is special. So um, instead of your traditional dining experience, it's a six-course tasting menu. It's all open seating, or open at the restaurant. It's an open restaurant, so you can see some of the food being prepared in front of you. You see your fellow diners as their courses are coming at different paces. So it's conversational, and it's sort of a great combination of experimental dining. You're not 100% sure what is coming your way, because we're only letting you know what the key ingredient is. So if you're very open-minded and you're a foodie, you're going to absolutely love that. And of course, we're going to have more traditional options. Professor Melissa already mentioned actually, what was it? The Wake. The Wake,
Extra
which is
virgin.
steak, seafood, and raw bar at the Wake. Extra Virgin is going to be our Italian Mediterranean concept. We've just had our eat and drink festival. We sort of refreshed some of our menus, so we have some great new offerings for those that have sailed Virgin Voyages in the past. We do freshen up our menus from time to time, and there's some great additions. I dined at Gun Bay when I sailed, when I was on the ship just a couple of weeks ago. That is our Korean barbecue concept. It's the first of its kind at sea. It is upbeat, it's energetic. Professor Wilson mentioned that some solo sailors out there. It's great for solo sailors because you're paired up with other sailors. We sit in tables of six or eight, and we break out fun games, and it's a Korean barbecue concept, but the food is actually cooked for you, and it's really really incredible. Of some that are what others would argue would be our true crown jewel is Pink Agave. Pink Agave is our Mexican concept restaurant. It is, but think way beyond your typical tacos and burritos. Think really Michelin star level Mexico City, like top end street food, um, beautifully presented, just uniquely curated menus from. Plus, all of our restaurants have standalone bars as well, so we have actually the largest supply, the largest variety of mezcal and tequila at sea at this restaurant. But the restaurant is incredible. It was actually awarded the best restaurant at sea across all cruise lines. It is phenomenal. So definitely one. If you're choosing, you can go that option. We have some casual options. I can talk about the dining all day, but I don't. But
Well, I will say
yeah.
I am not a foodie. I am a chicken tendies kind of girl, steak and potatoes. But I love all of your restaurant concepts. Test Kitchen is definitely foodie. Although I would say I did not enjoy all of those things because I do have the palate of a toddler, it was a really cool experience. I'm so glad I did it. So even if you are a picky eater like me, you definitely got to do it. All right. So Andre, we're getting a lot of questions in the comments. You mentioned solo travelers, and yes, Gun Bay is great for pairing people up, but in a fun way. It's not like that awkward, here's a bunch of randos. So
Yeah.
Shelly wants to know, are there solo booking rates and deals, or do you have to pay double occupancy? Because as I mentioned earlier, solo traveling is a bit of a contentious thing in cruising.
Yep. Yeah. We're again we're forward leaning. We're definitely doing things different than other cruise lines do, and so we actually have cabins designed with specifically for solo sailors that never have a single supplement. So we're going to give you two options: either our solo insider or our solo sea view, which again designed for one sailor. Never double occupancy charge or upcharge. We also typically have some sort of promotion going on, like we have right now, that's going to have a reduced supplement for the cabin category types, such as those that have their balconies. There are some great options where with sleep cabin to sleep anywhere from one to four sailors. Should I
Okay.
talk about some of the options and things we do, just catering the special programs for our solo sailors too?
Yeah, I think touching upon that's helpful because we do have a lot of solos. Maybe just
Yeah.
a couple
Yeah.
minutes on that. Yeah.
So we really do. I love our solo sailors at Virgin Voyages. I typically sail solo myself, and I'm always greeted by a letter that invites all solo sailors to a solo sailor what we call our solo sailor retreat. We have a get together for prior to sailing, so you can get to know some other solo sailors. It's led by our happenings cast. Instead of a cruise director, we have a talented team, people who have their specialties. It's our happenings cast, so they kind of facilitate some nice an opportunity to get to know fellow solo sailors. We get invited to special events for solo sailors. Again, our happenings cast have specialties. Plus, we always have specific um, reservations just for solo sailors. So we set aside a specific time to say, for those that don't want to, if you're
Interesting.
concerned, say, I don't want to sit by myself for dinner, then we'll have a standing reservation just for solo sailors as well.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, someone asked a great question. Who do you feel Virgin Voyages is aimed at age-wise, or pretty much all age? Like, what's the demographic age-wise?
Yeah, good question. So it's kind of deceiving because we have so much. So Virgin Voyages really does have something for everyone. And sometimes there's a misconception that everyone on our cruise line just like 25 or something. But we find that our sweet spot is really that that mid 30s, 40s, 50s to 60s age
Hmm.
range. But that's I mean, even though our average age is right about 40, 49, somewhere around there. It really comes down to the psychographic. So kind of for people, especially if you're open-minded, if you're foodies, you're into wellness, you're a traveler that wants to get immersed into destinations, to connect with locals, have those from the table experience, really just experiences in general, then those type of sailors really do just love what we have at Virgin Voyages, and also for your regular cruisers that just are looking for something different. Than the typical offerings. We also, because we're exclusively adult at Virgin Voyages, we also appeal to a lot of travelers that may not always be cruisers. That those that gravitate to like a typically we go to like an all-inclusive resort or somewhere that's exclusively adult. We're a great option for you as well, especially for you.
Well, and I will say, my first Virgin cruise was actually a graduation present.
Hmm.
high school graduation for my daughter. And
Oh,
as an 18-year-old, it is her favorite cruise line. Like
mm.
she fell in love with it. She cruised Royal, MSC, Carnival, and Virgin definitely hands down for her. But your family, they're older, they're like 60s. They had a
Yeah,
wonderful time too. So
yeah,
I think you're right. I think it is like it appeals to a lot of different people. But I do want to touch upon something else, which is there are a lot of conceptions out there about Virgin. So for the Virgins, because somebody asked me this today. I know when Virgin first came out, it's like the whole like forward thinking, irreverent, so, adult, sexy. And I think there's some people that think people are like out humping in the hallways. And it's like, that is not, or like, oh, which by the way, this is accidental. I've had this for ages. I am not into the upside down pineapple thing, but there's this misconception that this is like this wild romp. So can you talk? And I've not seen that at all. Can you touch a little bit upon that? People do go a little crazy for pajama party, which is fun though. But can you touch upon that, Andre?
Yeah, definitely. So we're gonna have a lot of options and things to do. Yeah, but we are outside the box intentionally on how we do things at Virgin Voyages. But sometimes when I hear some of the questions, there are definitely not people like running around naked or anything like
Yeah.
that. That is, if people hear the word that because we're adult, they think that it's something else. We're gonna have what you'd expect on other cruise lines. We're just going to have some more options. Like where we're going to really differ is because the cruise will be designed for adults. It means that our ship can be designed without kid proofing it. So from we don't have to water down our quality from our design, from the way our cuisine, our menus are set up. We don't have to put chicken nuggets on every menu. We don't have to close the pool the moment that it gets dark at night. So what it does, it just opens up options. If you're feeling like, you know what, I want to hop in the pool at 10 p.m., guess what? It's still open because we don't have kids there. If you want to get into the hot tub at any time, you don't have to wait through a bunch of 9-year-olds to get there. And because there are no kids, then it gives an opportunity for the adults to be a big kid themselves. So we definitely have some fun spaces. So that's kind of a unique concept. We actually have a bit of a playground. I'm not sure if either one of you have discovered it, like with seesaw and all, tire swing.
mm,
There's an arcade on our ships, and yes, we are exclusively for adults, but it gives a big kid like myself an opportunity to go and play Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter or
mhm.
Pac-Man for like an hour, and it's completely included because you don't need quarters for it.
Nice.
So because we have those we don't have the wasted spaces for like the kids camps and kids clubs and all of that. Then we have more spaces for the adults. We have our social club, which is our social hub of the ship, not too far from the arcade, and where we have karaoke, but also comfort foods. If you want a milkshake, maybe a boozy milkshake, or a root beer float, some popcorn, a bunch of candy that's included. Then you have an opportunity for you to be a big kid. Our ship, the style is laid back. So we definitely have an elevated feel to us, but it's not stuffy type of luxury. We don't have a dress code. We don't have a formal night. So sailors can come as they are. They don't have to, if you're
Mm.
feeling like, I want to wear my shorts and flip flops and go to dinner, and not get dressed like I'm going to the Academy Awards or something, then you can do that. But of course, you're going to see people dressed up like they really are going to the Emmys.
That's awesome. Yeah.
We have some fun events. You mentioned pajama party. We have some themed events in our two-story nightclub, The Manor. But we just have a lot of options for everybody.
Nice. That's awesome because yeah, I've been dress coded on other cruise lines. Holland America.
Holland America line.
Yeah, Holland America. But yeah,
Yeah.
so that's nice that you don't pressure and force that on people. And that sounds fun. The arcade, it's like Dave and Buster's at sea. But another question we had from Colleen Rulo, does Virgin status match?
Popular question right now because there's certain
Yeah, I
cruises that are
saw
not
it
happy.
when I was before I went to the full screen. Yeah, we do have some status match options. Well, we have our own loyalty program called Sailing Club, and it works for as you sail Virgin Voyages more times, and we open up what we call blue extras, like you sail 3 times, or deep blue
Mm,
extras when you get to 5 sailings or more. However, for a short while longer just in through to October, at least for nowish. So definitely everyone move fast. We're doing a status match for those that have the higher statuses at most other cruise lines, not all of them, even some airline partners that were instantly getting you to blue extras, which would be something that our sailors who would sail Virgin Voyages 3 times would get. Some of those extra perks that you would get would be dedicated sailor services team. So if there is a service related thing you need priority for that. We have laundry service, which is my absolute favorite. We're
Mm.
going to get a free bag of laundry, and it's not a few items, but like a big sack. So you can so I definitely take advantage of that when I'm sailing. We also have a coffee credit for specialty coffees, teas, and things like that. So you don't get into your bar tab. I realize I haven't said anything with the bar tab either.
Well, no, I was gonna say shout out because we are coffee people, and you're gonna be. I've got to say, I think Virgin has the best coffee at sea,
Mm.
hands down.
Oh, really?
But that is a nice segue to the big question people get because they get really confused about the bar tab because you do drink packages very differently. So if
Yes.
you talk a little bit about that.
Yes, yes. So thank you for all the questions, everyone. So we do things very differently. Again, we know the pain points, the kind of the advantage of being new and coming out the gates and really listening to what sellers are looking for is that we know that people don't like those very restrictive drink packages that other cruise lines have. They can be very expensive, very restrictive, typically meaning that when people are traveling together, you're in the same cabin, you have to have the same things. So you're buying two expensive packages instead of one. So we think that is ridiculous at Virgin Voyages. So sailors have the opportunity to have extreme flexibility. Instead of a set drink package, we have what we call a bar tab. Bar tab is dedicated money, dedicated funds specifically to any beverages that have a cost, allowing sailors to choose whatever they want. So if you want to go to the top shelf, you can go. You want bubbles flowing, or if you just want a specialty coffee here and there, or the options to even buy a full bottle of wine or sparkling beverages, which is definitely not an option in most cruise lines. We give you super flexibility. You get beverages for yourself, for the person you're traveling with, for the friends you make along the way, and you're able to preset what that amount is in advance, so it's not a surprise cost. People don't like those bait and switch tactics, and all of a sudden you have this expensive bill that's coming. You pre-purchase the bar tab in increments of 200, 300, 500, 750, or $1,000. And when you do that prior to voyage, we're going to reward you with bonus money. So we're going to have a 5-night voyage with Dominican days. Say that you get a $300 bar tab, we're going to actually throw in an extra $50 of value there. So you pay $300, you get $350 of value. If you purchase a $500 bar tab, we're going to throw in an extra $100 of bar tab,
Nice.
larger amounts. And like I said, it's extremely flexible and it stretches really far because our price points are very reasonable. Some people have said it's almost like Chili's type of prices,
Mm.
it's Applebee's or somewhere. It's not like over the top. So you're going to have beers that start from $5 or $6, glasses of wine that start from about $7 or $8, basic cocktails that start from $9, and all the beverages are going to be inclusive of taxes and fees. Of course, you could also use it for a wellness beverages, your pressed juices, smoothies, also some of the canned beverages.
And also make sure everybody you stick around because at the end we're going to give you an opportunity to get some free bar tab if you book
Okay.
within a certain time period after this. And we're also going to do some giveaways. We're going to randomly draw. I think Andre has some Virgin swag, and I've got a couple things I'm going to give away too. So stick around. And also regarding status matching, I do want to plug in a little bit. If you are a casino player, we're casino players, not on land, only on sea because we sail for free. That's how we sail free through the casino. I do have an arrangement with Eurocompt. They have a bank of interior rooms for our meetup cruise. I just actually just got the email. I haven't even fully looked at it yet. But if you are a casino player, I connect with me and I will help you connect with them, and they can potentially help you match your casino status too. So if you have a free cruise offer through Royal Caribbean Casino or Club Royale or Carnival, they work with Virgin's casino department to match. And your comp does have a block of interior rooms for free for qualified players for our meetup cruise for December 5th through 10th. So if you are a casino player, even like MGM Grand on land, message me, hello@profmelissa.com. I'll connect you with them. They can see if you qualify. So Andre, thank you for clarifying that because that was a big confusing thing is people like, well, if I just prepay my bar tab, why would I do that, right? But the thing is, you guys throw in extra money as an incentive. So that's the big perk.
And again, it's something that's not required. So if you want to just kind of wait and see where life takes you, then it's no requirement. You can have a bar tab. If there's two people in sailing, then you can both have your own bar tab. One of you can have a bar tab and you share it. And then you can get a smaller amount. If you exhaust it, then you're just buying beverages just as you go, or you can do that from the gate. So we give you extreme flexibility, more
And
choices.
Debbie Rios has a really timely question because you just launched Brilliant Lady. Where do you sail from?
Great questions. So out of North America, we sail out of New York. We currently have voyages going out of New York. That's new for 2025. We just started that earlier this month. We also sail out of Miami. We have voyages out of Miami year round, starting from our 4 and 5 night voyages, such as Dominican days, going up to all the way to voyages about 12 nights. We also sail out of San Juan in the Caribbean. They're in Puerto Rico. I would do this during the winter months, those cooler months, stretching from like November all the way out to April. On the West Coast, we sail out of Los Angeles. We will start sailing out of Los Angeles next year, and Seattle as well, going up to Alaska. Do that for summer 2026. We have extensive options out of Europe as well. We sail out of Portsmouth in the UK, Barcelona in Spain, and Athens in Greece, as main turnaround ports, plus a few miscellaneous voyages that'll go out of Rome, Lisbon, or Reykjavik.
Okay, and
Wow.
that's timely too because Anna, we got a lot of West Coasters here that are a little salty and feeling a little neglected. So I'm glad to know that Virgin has plans for the West Coast. Any other insight on West Coast specifically?
Yeah, so we're going to have our inaugural seasons coming up for 2026. Those really well thought out itineraries going out of Los Angeles. That's been extremely well received. Our brand new ship, Brilliant Lady, is doing all of it. So she will be based in North America year round. So for those West Coast voyages for next year, they're going to be all with our brand new ship. We are going out of Los Angeles, some of those islands off of California, some of the highlights, Cabo San Lucas, Puerto Vallarta, and more. And just like how we have our ports and our itinerary set up in the Caribbean and Europe, we are going to have some late options, even some potential overnight options in our itineraries. As a whole, Virgin Voyages spends about 30% more time in port than other cruise lines. You really have an opportunity to get immersed into the destination. And 50% of our itineraries have either an overnight stay or a late stay or both.
That's cool. Angie's asking about Galveston.
Galveston's not happening just yet, but I know there's a ton of interest. So I hear it. I get the questions. We hear it from Galveston, out of New Orleans. I'm based in Maryland, and I've heard of different
Yeah.
opportunities from people asking about out here in Virginia. We're still growing. We've just expanded. Just started selling out of New York just about 3 weeks ago. I'm sure
Mhm.
that we have genius people looking far ahead. But for what we have set out from now through 2027, we don't have Galveston just yet, but maybe one day.
Sorry, Angie. Sorry.
Sorry. Hopefully soon. And then I think I know the answer to this question. So I'm going to ask you the question. I'm going to answer it, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong. Shelly and a bunch of people commented too wants to know why Virgin does not status match MSC, and I suspect it's because MSC is the only other cruise line that status matches. So what Virgin doesn't want to happen is someone status matches with MSC kind of artificially, and then status matches with Virgin. But I could be wildly wrong. I don't know.
You're on track with your guess. Yeah, so I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but that's one of the obvious sort of reasons potentially. Yeah, but we don't match with the status match with MSC, but we status match with most other cruise lines and a few airlines as well.
Oh, airlines too. Okay, well. Greg asked a good question. What are some breakfast options you offer?
Great. So again, we have 24-hour dining options at Virgin Voyages, so you have a lot to work with. I love our in-room dining, where you can actually request a restaurant cuisine delivered to your cabin, and you can pre-arrange it choosing your time. I'm kind of one of those people, even though we have such amazing restaurants in the morning, I typically don't go. I'm in my cabin or I skip it altogether. So you have your in-room dining option. We're going to have casual options such as the galley. We actually have something called Diner and Dash, which is going to have
Mm.
breakfast food 24 hours a day. We're going to have breakfast at uh, Razzle Dazzle, which is another one that you had mentioned earlier, Dr. Professor Melissa. And we're gonna have multiple options for breakfast. And so we have early breakfast, we have in-room breakfast, early breakfast, breakfast, late breakfast, brunch, early lunch, lunch, late lunch, early dinner, dinner, late dinner, 24-hour dining. So we have
Wow. Yeah.
all the time food.
So
Always
you
be
won't go hungry. That's yeah.
Well, and I got to give a shout out to Virgin room service. I think it's amazing. They do it differently. If you've never saw Virgin, they bring it in like this canvas bag, which sounds silly, but we just got off a Royal Caribbean cruise, which was amazing. But when we did room service for breakfast, I got this big bulky tray. So it's really smart the way they do that with like the covered dishes. And last time I cruised, I know it's changed a little bit. Is there a delivery fee now? I know you could get it waived if you ordered a drink, but I think you guys did away with that.
Yeah,
So there's
so
a
I
fee
think
for room service.
the delivery fee, I believe it's been there from the beginning. Works out, I believe it's about $5. However,
Oh,
it's waived if it's about $5, but it's waived if you purchase anything, if there's anything that have a cost like a beverage. So say that you want to get yourself
okay. So it's still there.
a specialty
Okay.
coffee or a tea or a cocktail, even if it's less than the $5, if it's anything, even if you purchase a tea for like $3, then
Yeah.
then
Oh
then that's
wow.
That was
I'm a tea person, so I love that they have it insulated in a super sized container, and I always just sit there and drink tea until it's completely gone. Yeah, but it is so there is a fee. So at Virgin Voyages, extremely transparent about the pricing. We have a concept what you the price you see is the price you pay. We know that one of those pain points with other cruise lines is you never know what the true cost of things are because there's tips and gratuities that are added to extra things. So we don't
Right.
have a lot of things that have fees. When we do, we make it really transparent and easy. You have no surprises.
Yeah. No, that's a great perk about Virgin. Mariella was asking how's the entertainment? What are the entertainment options that you offer?
Great question. Our entertainment
Yeah.
is so good. So again, being disruptors coming in the industry, we want to do things differently. So we do have production shows and entertainment instead of recycling the same things that have been done over and over again. A lot of movie and Broadway type adaptations shrunk down to the small stage. We don't have very many of those. We've actually partnered with some of the best talent in the world to create things specifically for Virgin Voyages that you're not going to see on other places, other cruise lines, especially. So we have shows that are going to be a combination of storytelling, acrobatic type of performances. We're a Virgin brand, synonymous with music, so they're all going to have a great soundtrack that goes along with it. We have some dinner theater options, which are phenomenal.
Hmm.
We have some shows that are like a karaoke style thing where we literally put this. We have a band performing songs and put the words up on the screen where everyone can sing along. We have multiple. Speaking of bands, we're always going to have multiple bands that are on the ship and multiple DJs as well. That'll be dispersed in our different spaces. We're going to have your traditional or our own spin on some of the traditional things you see on the cruise lines. We do our own special variation of bingo, for example. We have some cooking and food related type of demonstrations, things like sushi making, cocktail making, some sip and paint things. We have lots of karaoke options. So there's going to be way more things to do than you can actually even fit into your
Hmm.
schedule. So it makes people want to come back very quickly. And my favorite thing is that we don't have a cruise director at all. We basically you never have someone that's making those annoying announcements across the loudspeaker. All of our sailors are adults. So we know that you're smart enough to figure out what you want to do and when, and not don't have to be interrupted if you're lounging away in your cabin on your hammock and don't want to get up, want to have your you time, or you want to be out and about doing absolutely everything from our theme parties and events in the evening to what we have going during the day or dinner shows. So we have a ton of options of things.
And don't forget too, again, you can get a tattoo on board. Coolest
Yes.
thing I've ever done, ever on a cruise. So Cameron wants to know, you talked about the restaurants, and that's again a big value add because again, the cruise math is with Virgin. Well, it's gonna change. We're gonna talk about this in a minute. I'm gonna put your feet to the fire, Andre. But it's been basic Wi-Fi, soft drinks, all the restaurants, including the specialties, even the steakhouse and the seafood, all included, soft drinks included, all that included. Um, and gratuities has been the big ones. But Cameron wants to know the restaurants that we talked about, are they available on all the ships or specific ships? And really quickly, can you talk about your lady fleet, your lady ships?
Yeah, great. I'll start with the ships and then I'll kind of go through the majority of our restaurant options are going to be available on each of the ships. Our ships, we have 4 ships, they're all lady ships that are part of our fleet. We have Scarlet Lady, Valiant Lady, Resilient Lady, and Brilliant Lady. They are all going to be very similar in size, shape, capacity. They're designed, they're not mega ships at all. So we're not, you're definitely not going to be sailing with 4, 5, 8, 10,000 people. Our max capacity is going to be right about 2,700. So we're not teeny tiny, but large enough that you can have lots of options and things to do. Great options for onboard activities. Um, our restaurant concepts are going to be pretty similar across the fleet. We again, no main dining concept at all. You're choosing from 20 plus eateries, 24-hour dining options. We do have a couple of ships that have sort of that are unique. So, for example, that Dominican Days voyage that you've highlighted is going to be on Scarlet Lady. Scarlet Lady has a restaurant. All the restaurants have a concept called Razzle Dazzle, but we've kind of started to tweak that and give Razzle Dazzle its kind of own individual take on different ships. So so we have Razzle Dazzle by day, the same on all of our ships. But at night on Scarlet Lady, Razzle Dazzle becomes Lucky Lotus. And we have a slightly different concept for Brilliant Lady, which is new. But the majority of the restaurant concepts are going to be the same. We talked about the Wake, which is a favorite. The Pink Agave, which is recognized as the best restaurant at sea. Even the options we have in the galley, we have a sushi concept, a casual Mexican concept, sandwiches, salads, sweets. I love
Ramen. My daughter loves the ramen. She loves the ramen.
ramen. That's
Yeah.
my first thing that I get when I on the ship. I'm craving that ramen for like weeks before I get onto the ship. It is absolutely delicious.
Oh, you're gonna be excited to try. Yeah, I'm excited to try
Really,
that food.
really good.
Colleen asked a great follow-up question to that. Veggie options, gluten-free options,
Yes,
vegan.
great. Yep. Thank you so much. Yeah, I didn't mention that specifically. Yeah, because we're all about inclusive options for everyone. So we really want to make sure that our sailors that have dietary needs, restrictions, following specific diets, have lots of options. Because each of our 20 plus eateries all have their own executive chef, they have the ability to customize and cater to those most dietary restrictions. We're going to have vegan and vegetarian specific items on every menu at each of our restaurants, and even some that have a whole separate menu that's all vegan, vegetarian for our sailors. So
Nice.
for yeah, we're going to really take care of our sailors when it comes to food.
And here's a quick question and then a not so quick follow-up question. Is it internet Starlink? I think all cruise lines are pretty much Starlink now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Bryant is asking, and I think this is related to the big announcement that I did not know was coming and it happened a few hours ago about Virgin kind of mixing up the pricing tiers a little bit. But Brian wants to know if we're already booked for November, which of the new categories will we be assigned? And I think he's saying now currently Rockstar. Can you talk a little bit about what Rockstar is, what the categories are, and then the big elephant in the room is what is the change that Virgin
Sure,
rolled out
sure.
today?
I don't have the change came so quickly. I don't have every detail, but I can kind of go big picture with that. But we again at Virgin Voyages we do things differently when it comes to your cabins and what our different tiers. So with all of I'll kind of go kind of what everyone gets, breaking out those inclusions, and then our cabin categories, and then at like a meta level. So with our built into the voyage fare for all of our sailors is over $1,000 value right now. Currently, we have all your tips and gratuities included there, all of your dining, including specialty restaurants, your classic Wi-Fi, We have a lot of wellness options, including group fitness classes, access to world-class training, workout facilities, all the soda, water, we call our essential beverages, which are going to be there: soda, coffee, drip coffee, tea, non-pressed juices, plus a lot of flexibility if things are happening, you need to change things around. That's built in for all of our sailors, and that's how it's kind of been from the beginning. If we get to our cabin category, like on a meta level, we're going to have insider cabins, which are going to feature, which are going to be this. We don't have a ton of those, so I'm going to go back a step. The majority of what we have on our ship are going to be facing the ocean, which is about 88%, or about 95, sorry, about 95% of our inventory are going to be facing the ocean, giving you those ocean views or a full balcony. We do have a select amount
With
of,
the hammock.
yes, with the hammock for sure. Well, we have some insider cabins. And we're going to have different options of sleeping up as many as 3 sailors there. We're going to have our sea views, which are going to have the porthole give you natural light. And we have our sea terraces, which is literally about 88% of what we have. So majority. And as you said, Melissa, they feature a hammock, and the hammocks are absolutely incredible. It seems like a small thing, but once you experience a hammock, you're going to want to stay in that hammock. You're going to think you're going to make plans and say, I'm going to go down and do bingo. I'm going to go do that. And then you think, no, I'm actually going to stay in this hammock and relax for a bit because this feels so good. Just kind of swaying along, getting those ocean views, getting that ocean breeze. And then going to the next step above our seats, our equivalent of balcony, we have something called Rockstar and then Mega Rockstars. Those are our 2 levels of suites. With those, starting at the Rockstar, in addition to all of those other amenities, our Rockstar Mega Rockstar quarters are going to be a bit more spacious. They're large cabin options, exclusively king size beds. They're going to come with some elevated options, such as having your, not a, we'll call it a concierge, but a Rockstar agent or a Mega Rockstar agent for the Mega Rockstar categories. Access to Richard Rooftop, which is our sort of VIP lounge space. We even have a couple of cocktail happy hours and things that happen there, and kind of an additional space to escape. In-room bars is another big addition of those. So if you're a social person, your place becomes the meeting point before or after dinner when you come back from port or whatever. Can definitely consider going with the Rockstar Mega Rockstar options. And we have some sailors that definitely turn our Rockstar agents and Mega Rockstar agents into the party planners and hosts, making sure everyone has snacks, beverages, and everything they need. Going to the Mega Rockstar, you're going to have all of those, but we're going to have even pick you up from the airport or from the partner hotel and transportation back, and unlimited. Instead of 1 round of in-room bar on us, it's actually unlimited, and the ability to just snatch up any beverage that's $25 or less for you and your guest.
So basically, just in summary, and I know you haven't had a chance to like fully digest it yet. And again, we've been out and about tonight, and I just kind of saw it popping off. I'm like, big change with Virgin. It sounds like a lot of the basic stuff is still included at all rate categories, but it's just like maybe there's some additional. I think there's gonna be some cutbacks a little bit probably, but it's more about higher tier, like higher levels of internet at higher like Rockstar level.
We just kind of put a couple different packages in, and it's going to give us an opportunity to kind of introduce Virgin Voyages to a few additional sales, give you price points that are kind of borderline, for just help people out. So we have, they're brand new. I believe it's their basic, essential, and so again, it's just come along. I don't have it all set just yet, but it's really going to be what we've had in the past, just presented differently. We're going to have in our highest tier just some added flexibility for making changes to your voyages, very last minute, and sort of faster speed internet on the high end. On our essential, it's going to be very much identical, very close identical to what we've had in the past, and at our base level, then it's going to be pretty much what we've had in the past. Just maybe slightly less flexibility with cabin selection and just changing the cabin around. But for especially if you're looking at a voyage that's less than 3 months out, um, it's yeah, it wouldn't really affect much at all.
And I do want to say about the rooms, because you mentioned like again, we talked about the hammock. I what I love about Virgin, I think Virgin has the best staterooms. I've sailed in all different usually interiors because we're cheap, but I've even done suites and things like that. I think a Virgin cabin, even my Virgin interior was better than I would say a suite I had for my birthday this year on a different cruise line. It's got like this LED lighting. It's got this. We actually love movies
Mm.
and TV, and I think you guys have the best free movie and TV
Oh, for
options. You've got that iPad. You can control the blinds on the balcony. So from bed, you can close the blinds, turn on the ambient lighting. I mean, it's pretty dope. And I did a solo cruise, and I spent a lot. I was so burned out. I was so tired, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna chill. And I spent the majority of the time in that hammock, reading a book, chilling in the room, ordering lots of room service, watching lots of TVs and movies with a view of the ocean. And it was, no offense, it's probably like one of my favorite cruises in like the past 2 years. It was so relaxing. So I'm excited for you to try
Ouch.
it.
No, but yeah. So we know being new to the industry, we know what those pain points are and kind of brought different options for sailors. We're extremely sustainable. You're going to see the sustainability kind of everywhere how we do things. Definitely see it in the materials we use. We don't have to single use plastics. So with bottles of water, so we'll have those 2 carafes of water in your cabin, which would be replenished daily. We have some great tech with that iPad that you mentioned, Melissa, that's going to allow sailors to control the lighting. We even have a whole different modes for lighting, the curtains. If you need additional service in your cabin, water or room service, control the television, the iPad does all of that. And then we even have the ability to reconfigure that space on the in your cabin. So say that you have we can kind of turn the beds and because they are like flip into an L shape to kind of give you an additional make the bed like a sort of like a day bed area, give you more space for those that want to turn that cabin into your yoga studio or extra space to hang out. And then we have our hammocks that really do make it feel like your personal sanctuary.
Yeah, those red hammocks kind of became iconic. It's pretty cool, like an iconic staple of Virgin. Going back to the restaurants, Cameron had another great question. Do you have to have a reservation each night, or can you just show up? Because I think some people might be nervous or anxious about, spots filling up, and they maybe don't know how to use the app. Can you
Yeah,
elaborate on
And I
that?
will say for my solo cruise, I'm a planner, but not with cruises. When I go to cruise, I just like to do whatever I feel like it. I didn't make a single reservation. I decided, in addition to room service, I wanted to go to the wake like twice, and I just
Mhm.
rolled in and I had no problem. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
Lists are like my exact same travel style. So I'm one who just kind of wants to go with the flow. I rarely ever make reservations. But so and instead of complicating things like other cruise lines do, we make it work like the real world. You have the ability that you can make a reservation in advance. We're going to open up reservations 45 days prior to voyage for most sailors. For the Rockstar, Mega Rockstar sailors, we'd open it up a little bit sooner, about 60 days for the most part. You have those. We're going to open up just a selection of restaurants because we know it's human nature. People will change their mind. The first day of voyage, we'll have additional dining options that open up. And then even then, we still hold some back because we're going to people, it's just human nature. People change their mind of what maybe they heard from other sailors or they've double triple booked themselves. Or they want to get to our dinner theaters. So what happens is you can just show up at the restaurants in most cases it's like the real world. So if there's immediate dining, seating, then you'll be seated. They might say our table should open up in 15, 20 minutes. You're welcome to have a seat at the bar as a table opens up. If you would decide that you want to have your meal at the bar, then that's an option just like in the real world as well. Or you can make a reservation right on the spot that day of. So we make it very, very flexible. So give you a more concise answer, reservations definitely recommended, for sure not required.
Yeah.
And for folks that want to work off all of those calories from all that delicious food, actually had a few questions about group fitness classes. Specifically, Lisa wants to know if Brilliant Lady has the bungee fitness classes.
Hmm. Yes. Yeah. So we're gonna have that same, all the same offerings from our other ladies ships are including at Blue Ladies. So it's identical across the fleet. We're gonna have group fitness classes as one of those included perks for all for all sailors. So the popular options, we have dedicated spin class. We have our B complex, which is our gym spaces, our indoor gym, because we have outdoor training as well. So our indoor spaces, we have one that's going to have your strength training, one that's going to have your cardio. The one that has the cardio has a dedicated room with stationary bikes for our spin class. We're going to have yoga in multiple sessions. We're going to have the bungee class. We're going to have the high intensity interval training. I've actually done that myself. It's actually way more challenging than I expected on a cruise ship workout to be. We even have things that are really fun. We know our sailors like to have opportunity to get into a theme, get dressed up. We have a really fun workout we call the VHS 80s themed workout, where it's just like one of those Richard Simmons videos from like the 80s or 90s. You can
Okay.
break out the leg warmers, the leotards, the leg warmers, and we actually, have an old music playlist, the best jams from back in the day. We even bring out the shake weights. So a combination of your serious workouts, top level equipment, to some great training and even opportunities for one-on-one things.
Oh my gosh, Andre, we have so many questions. You guys are great.
Yes.
We have 5 minutes. We get and Kelly. By the way, my booking partner Kelly isn't here answering a lot of these, so thank you, Kelly. Really quick, Andre, can you talk about Bimini Beach Club because that Virgin doesn't have like the private island that a lot of people are used to. And people love them or hate them, but I love Bimini Beach Club. Can you talk about that really quickly?
Yes, yeah. So it's one of those things that we consistently win the awards of the best adults, the best beach club experience or private island. So this is a staple and of Virgin Voyages, an extension of what we have for our Caribbean sailings, an extension of our onboard experience. At Bimini, which is one of the islands of the Bahamas, we have a space exclusively for Virgin Voyages sailors. So our adults only sailors are there. No randos from the island or random vendors, children, and so you really can enjoy that the space. There's no entrance fee to get in. We're not charging you for chairs, for lounge chairs. There's plenty of seating all around. There's multiple pools. We have a quieter pool. We have one that's going to be a bit active, maybe some volleyball breakout. We have a DJ that'll come in and play some music at some point. We have a float party that happens there. We throw about 100 inflatables into the pool. You can kind of lounge away, lounge around, listen to music. We're going to have complimentary food for all the sailors. You're not paying extra there. We're going to have Wi-Fi by the pool, by the ocean. The ocean is stunning. White sand beach, crystal clear water. We spent a pretty full day in Bimini when we are there as well. And I was going to say something else. Yeah, the food is included. It's one of those things that, the bar tab. We also don't play games with like totally new pricing for beverages or extra packages you need to buy. So the same drink prices and many of those beverages you would have on the ship, they're going to be available off on the island as well. If you have a bar tab, then that you're able to use that same bar tab off on the ship. My favorite thing in the whole world, the bar tab for us, when we call it shake for champagne. It's literally champagne on demand. You take your phone with that Virgin Voyages Sailor app, you give it a shake. That works for you're on the ship. Our team will bring you a bottle of Moet and Shandong Imperial anywhere on our ship, but it also works when you're at our beach club in Bimini as well. So again, extension of what we have at sea.
And a really quick thing to mention too, I love about Bimini Beach Club because we just got back. We did Perfect Day at Coco Cay, which was wonderful. Actually, was a perfect day. And we did Celebration Key with Carnival recently as well. They have some long piers. So it's like hot and humid, and you're walking down this long pier, and the property is just massive. And we went to the kind of the private Cocoa Beach, and it was a long walk. You're gonna wait for a tram. I will say what I love about Bimini Beach Club is because your ships aren't like these big mega ships. There's a free tram You get off, you get on the tram. It takes you a short little pier, tram, Bimini. You're right there. It's not like a ton of like walking in the heat and the humidity and the sand, and it's easy to get back to the ship. So I really like that too. All right, so we have 1 minute left. So Andre, do you have some swag we can give away? I got a couple of things I'm gonna do.
I do, I do. I meant to have it right here. Let me grab it for you real quickly.
Okay, you go fetch that, and I will tell you what I'm going to give away. We're going to draw two winners. My favorite luggage tags. Sadly, I just use them on a Royal Caribbean cruise, so I don't have them to show you. But they're little plastic reusable tags. They're good for Virgin or any cruise line. It's a pack of 8. I use the heck out of them all the time. So I'm going to do this really scientifically. I'm going to scroll through, and Bati's going to tell me when to stop, and we're going to read a name. So you tell me when to stop, babe.
Okay, I won't look. Okay,
Don't look, and don't touch it because it's touchscreen.
Okay,
Point at it.
Right here.
Tammy Blackburn. Tammy Blackburn, email me. You're the first luggage tag winner. And I'm going to do one more. And hopefully you didn't log off or you're not using the bathroom.
Okay. Ready, right there.
Yvette Humphreys, you are winner number 2. Email me at hello@profmelissa.com. Don't DM me on Facebook. I don't see, I get a lot of DMs. All right, Andre, what do you got? So again, Yvette and our other winner, make sure you message me and I will get your information, send it to you via Amazon Prime.
There's the new luggage tags. You now have a new favorite luggage tag. We have, hopefully, I don't know if you can see it with my filter, but I have some red Virgin Voyages luggage tags.
Oh, more luggage tags. Luggage tag night.
I can't tell if it's with the filter. If
we can see them. Yeah.
It's on brand too.
So yeah, right. I'll send some of those along.
Okay. So can we do 2 more winners for Virgin specific luggage tags? Okay. All right, here we go, boss.
Am I doing it again?
Here, do it again. You have big responsibility.
Ready. Stop. Right there.
Danielle Farr.
Danielle.
Farr. Danielle Farr. All the ladies winning.
Wow.
We do have some men on here. Let me scroll. All right.
Ready. And boom. Right there.
Debbie Rios. Wow. All the ladies won tonight. It's ladies' night. Debbie Rios, you are our other winner. Contact me. I'll put you in contact with Andre. So we have like all the luggage tags. All right, Andre. So if folks want to book a Virgin Voyage cruise, we can do a little special incentive, right? Tell me what we can.
Yes. So I do have a special incentive for those that book the next 2 weeks between now and October 9th.
With my booking partner, one of the Kellys.
Yes, with Kelly and Melissa. Then there's an exclusive offer, and that is a $50 bar tab, which is going to be combinable with most offers. There are some terms in there. So you would work for most cabin categories that you would book. It's going to work for obviously for the Dominican Days voyage. But also anything that you book. We do have something called lock it in rates. Those cabins for our Insider, Seaview, Rockstar, Mega Rockstars are like the one because it's like a special terms and conditions that doesn't apply. But for basically everything else, it would work. So and for those that missed the idea, if I explain, I just giving you lingo. So Sailor Loot is our terminology for onboard credit. Our bar tab is going to be specific to, it's also an onboard credit, but specific to any beverages that have a cost. So of course we work with the alcoholic beverages, but also coffees, smoothies, and any beverage that has a cost.
And then depending on what booking you do, what itinerary would ship, we'll also throw in additional Sailor Loot up to $50 on top of that bar tab. Again, it depends on cabin category, like all this stuff, basically. So message us at hello@profmelissa.com. You can also go to profmelissa.com/virgin. I have a whole website with all the information that you need. I also have all my review videos. When I got off of, I did Valiant Lady for last November. I did a whole review video about the pros and the cons of Virgin Voyages, what to know, what to expect. I have a whole Virgin guide. If you book with us, I give you my guide to Virgin Voyages, which normally I sell that. I offer that for free to everyone who books with us. And I can't say enough great things about Virgin. And of course, join us for our meetup, profmel.com/meetup. If you want to actually cruise with us, we're going to do a couple of meetups on board Scarlet Lady. And it's a really great itinerary, Bimini Beach Club and Puerto Plata. Out of Miami, December 5th through 10th. Nice 5-day. I think that's kind of a sweet spot, not too short, not too long. So yeah, hit us up. We can also probably combo that potentially with these promos as well. And again, if you're a casino player, we may be able to get you even a comped room. So message us. We'll have to have your comped, check your play and qualify you and everything else. All right, last question, Andre, because you're a little bit over time. If there's one reason why, there's a lot of cruise lines out there. There's one reason why someone should book with Virgin Voyages. Why should they do it?
Great question. So as I said, we do things differently at Virgin Voyages. There's a reason why we've been reckoned. We've come out the gate strong, being new. We've won honors as the world's best cruise line the last 3 years in a row. It's hugely impressive, only sailing 4 years. And it's because we do things differently. We have the best crew in the world. We're really fortunate to have incredible service from our crew. But our concept of doing things differently, giving sailors the choices that you can really we make it carefree and effortless. You can sample between 20 plus eateries. You're not worrying about specialty costs. You're not worrying about being nickel and dime. You're not worrying about the cost of Wi-Fi and those small things that really do add up. It gives you an opportunity to get connected to the destinations because we spend so much time in port. And so what that means also is that you don't have to be in a rush. If you're someone like myself that does not want to set an alarm clock when you're on vacation and you're kind of one of those people who are announcing, okay, I only have 4 hours. What can I do? If you want to sleep in, get a workout, grab some brunch, do an activity before you get in sail, you can do that because we're spending anywhere between 8 and 12 hours in port pretty regularly. So you have that flexibility. And then people really love about us is that we're exclusively adult. There are no kids on board. So it means we don't have to water down our quality, our services, the experiences that we have. It changes absolutely everything. Being in that adult, exclusively adult paradise space.
And then I will close with one thing too that you guys actually don't talk about much, but I think you should. I am a real professor. I'm a management professor. I'm also very much an advocate for treating cruise line crew fairly and paying them a living wage. And as much as I love cruising, the exploitation of labor is a real problem I have with the industry globally. It's a big problem. And what I love about Virgin is not only is it inclusive of the tips, but you are the cruise line that pays the employees more of a living wage. So I really do respect that. And I really appreciate that. And I think that reflects in how happy your crew are. They're friendly and it's legit friendly because they love what they do and they're being compensated fairly. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Reach out to us again, profmelissa.com/virgin. hello@profmelissa.com. Andre, thank you so much for hosting us.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't even know that. That's awesome.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.